Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmi, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning. Welcome to Habari Live, where we keep you updated with the news, sports, and entertainment throughout the week. Like always, we are all the way live from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. Another great week. We took the week off last week. What's up, Iesha? What's up, Jimmi?
Yo.
Good morning.
We took the last week off because we wanted to go down and help out Bridget Pettis with her training camp that she had for the kids over in South Phoenix at Skyline High School. No, is it high school?
Skyline Prep High School.
Yeah. So we went down. We helped them out. We should be getting some footage soon. We're still working on the footage and getting it going for everyone. So it should be some exciting footage coming. We did make some mistakes on that. We don't even talk about it.
Yeah, I'm still pretty mad about that.
Yeah, we whack. We are whack. But how was everyone's week?
It was cool.
It was okay.
Yeah,
It
y'all
kind
don't-
of felt like it was a really long week.
I got sick, so
Yeah, you were sick, huh? Sick.
so the week felt shorter than usual.
Well, a lot of things have been going on, going around. It's yeah. We a lot of things have been going down, and a lot of people have been getting sick. I think our baby, she even got sick. She had a little issue. So a lot of people have been getting sick right now. It's the weather changing. It's still a little cool. And for Phoenix, I mean, we've gotten a lot of
For this time of year.
Dude, like I said, we was talking earlier. I don't remember getting this much rain in this place, man. We've got
This has definitely been the wettest winter we've had.
It has been really, really wet. And the Salt River, they're releasing water. They have so much an abundance of water right now that they're releasing water. And we also have
You go to a quick break.
Yeah.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Welcome back. So, yo, what's up, bro?
What up, bro?
How you doing?
Apologize, man. I got turned around trying to find y'all.
It's all good, man.
Man, good to
Thanks for
see
coming,
y'all.
man.
It's
Good to see you.
beautiful.
Thanks, man. Go ahead, take a seat, man.
Here.
We are live
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit. You might need the
Oh,
headphones.
yeah.
down.
Okay.
And bring the mic.
Don't worry about this.
Okay.
That's just Instagram.
Okay.
Everything else is cool.
Okay.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming, bro. We really appreciate you.
Yeah,
bro.
man. This is congratulations, man. This is a beautiful space and studio. I feel like this is a bit of a reunion.
Yeah.
You know, like we ain't seen y'all. I ain't seen y'all. I mean, outside of social media stuff,
Right.
last time we all connected, man, was with our brother Daniel.
That's real, man.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
And this was pre-little princess that y'all got out there
That's
now.
real.
That's 2 years old.
Yep,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's been a like a journey.
Yes, it
You
has,
know what
sir.
I'm saying?
I
So
agree with you.
congratulations to y'all, man. And and how y'all keep elevating. And
They even
building.
Appreciate
adopted me. No, it's fine.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it, bro. And it's been a minute, man.
Yeah.
And it's the last 3 years been a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
Losing Daniel was really tough. But we got to keep trying to elevate.
Yeah.
We trying to be like you, bro.
Man,
we watching you, bro, and you.
We all play our part, man, and it's really about how we pour into each other because we're an ecosystem, right? And even y'all allowing me the opportunity to come in, celebrate y'all space, and be a part of what y'all doing is a part of that, man. Is how can we can contribute to what we're all doing? Because the more that you're successful, you create opportunities for my kids. I create opportunities for your kids and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what motivates me, especially about us pouring into our community, is I want my kids, and y'all gonna go to the same thing. I want my kids to be able to get opportunities from their community. That's real. And so I have to be a part of investing and empowering my community. So my son, who's 21 now, about to graduate from ASU with his degree in architecture.
Oh, that's dope.
My daughter's a gymnast and says she wants to be a lawyer. She's a junior at St. Mary's High School. But when they start looking for their professional opportunities, I want them to be able to come to a community that understands them, where they don't have to do the code switching and like all this crazy stuff around. They just passed a law where about your hair.
Right.
I mean,
just
I get it, but it's like, should we even need that?
We have to go this way.
You know what I'm saying? And so I want them to be able to get opportunity from people that look like them. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to make sure that that's there. Man. You know what I'm saying? So that motivates me a lot, man. So
we have to build it.
Yeah.
We can't expect anyone else to build it for us.
Yeah.
We have to build it ourselves.
Yeah.
Just like you went and you build your $1 million teacher project.
Yes, sir.
You made it happen.
Yes, sir.
You built that from nothing, man. And man, that's.
And there ain't no savior. There's no Superman that's coming out the sky to save us. We're our superheroes. You know what I'm saying? And we have to realize that we do have the power, but you got to be willing to take the risks, do the work, because it doesn't happen on accident. I tell people all the time, an idea without action is just a dream.
That's all it is.
You got to be able to execute. You know what I'm saying? And again, sitting in here with y'all right now, y'all looking at this on Instagram or listening to this, and you have to see the space. The space is beautiful, man. And it's a representation of being able to execute, because there are a lot of people that want to do podcasts. There's a lot of people that want to do nonprofit work. There's a lot of people that have ideas, but you got to be able to put the work to turn that thing into something real. And I never underestimate or devalue that talent, because it's a skill, man. Not everybody can do it. Not everybody can execute, man.
Yeah. It's tough because you write down a plan, and sometimes you look at it and you're like, man, I'm intimidated.
Yeah.
We have so much that we have to do. But you look at your list and you're like, it's so much, but just take it a step at a time.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, every step you're gonna feel so accomplished every time you get a step closer to your goal.
Yeah.
And then when it's finally finished, you're gonna feel so good about what you've done.
Yeah.
And those things, when I was younger, you don't really think about those things as much. Because I felt as though I was a lost generation kid. How did you feel? How did you grow up out here in the Phoenix streets? Did you have a lot of guidance out here? Was your parents there for you?
Man, I describe myself as a slips through the cracks kid. So I and so much so we're the sum of our experiences, right? Our journey leads us to the stuff we decide to do, especially as adults. And we spend our adult lives trying to fix our childhoods in a lot of ways, right?
That's 100%
And
right.
so I was a slips through the cracks kid, man. My single mom raised 3 boys on her own. From the time I was in 5th grade, we relocated to Phoenix over on the west side. And, and I really didn't have any positive male influences. And I tell people all the time, the reason I started $1 Million Teacher Project is for 2 reasons. Because as a global society, I just think we need to do more for educators.
That's definitely true.
We do.
For 2, for the kids like me that never really had that teacher. I never had that. I didn't have a teacher that pulled me to the side and said, Lloyd, you're going to be somebody. You're going to, and every kid should have that, because how important this profession is, it impacts us all in some shape, form, or fashion. All of us do, whether it's a good experience or a bad
bad.
experience, right? Like, and so I was one of those kids that when I was in school,
Mhm.
I wasn't good enough to get a lot of attention.
Right.
And I wasn't bad enough to get a lot of attention,
go.
right? So I floated right in the middle,
Right.
kind of being invisible often, right?
Mhm.
And that's a dangerous place
It
to
is.
be when a kid or a person feels invisible.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And you
Mhm.
can get lost. And so I found myself like a lot of us that come from those environments,
Mhm.
learning from the neighborhood,
Yep.
man. So I'm out here with the knuckleheads doing what we do. You know
That's
what I'm
real.
saying? Got caught up in going down that wrong path, and and the thing that really motivated me to kind of turn things around was my younger brother.
Really.
You know what I'm saying? So I
So
got
you're a middle child also?
yeah, I'm a middle child. You
Man,
know,
we have a lot of similarities, man, in life. I got 3 brothers. I'm a
Yep.
middle child.
Yep, yep,
We relocated from the hood to the suburbs.
yep.
We have a lot of
Yep.
similarities in life.
And another similarity is not it. So it's not a surprise that now you found a way to have a microphone in front of you, because they
Mhm.
also say middle children fight for that attention,
That's
because we
real.
we
That's real.
we in the middle.
That's real.
But it was my younger brother, man, and he because I saw like my junior year of high school, I got in the most trouble I had ever gotten in my life, man.
Mm.
Like I was shoplifting, doing all kind of stuff, wound up getting arrested.
Wow.
And I saw that he was emulating the stuff that I was doing, right?
Yeah, man.
And so I was like, man, and so and the thing that is always amazing to me is that how in high school you're really making adult decisions. Like I really sat myself down and said, man, I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. But then also it's an example of how at 17 I wasn't really able to have a childhood, because you're 17. I should have still just been having fun, and I'm faced with like life decisions. I was like, I got to figure my life out, because I'm gonna mess my younger brother's life up if I don't get my life together.
Mm-hmm.
So I entered into my senior year, man, really kind of getting myself together. I made the basketball team.
Wow.
I played varsity, and you know, and at that, and so thought I was gonna be Michael Jordan, you know, and then like Jay-Z said, I saw my hoop dreams deflate.
Right.
And then that's what led me into music. You know what I'm saying? And it led me into music and community work, because I wanted to be the change I wanted to see in the world. I wanted to be for kids what I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that positive male influence, and I wanted to be that for other kids, especially kids that look like us. You know what I'm saying? And then on the entertainment side, I didn't realize how I was also indoctrinated into those pathways that we think are our only ways of success.
Yes.
It's either entertainment, sports, selling drugs.
That's real.
You know, one until Obama, that becoming the president really became a real thing.
That's real.
And so I went down that path because I was decent at it. You know, had a crew. I'm like, all right, this is our pathway out the hood. This is what we're going to do.
Man.
Launched a record label. But as I went through my journey, and we talked, and I know we're going to talk about journeys and all that, but as I went through my journey, I realized even when I was doing music, what it was really about was I wanted to impact lives.
Right.
And at that time, I thought the only way I could do that is by being a celebrity. I thought I had to be rich, famous, so I could have influence and all of that.
That's what y'all think.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was through the deconstruction of those ideas and me running into that wall where the music just wasn't really making enough money to sustain the headache, the lifestyle, all of that I had to pivot. And I jumped even more into my community side and really realizing like, no, there's power in us. There's power in me. You know, there's power in me. If I commit to doing the work, if I commit to doing the work every day, you can figure out how to start making a difference. Lose the ego, realize that this is about community. It's about us collaborating, partnering, working together, shed all those things, man, and really live a life of service.
Could 17-year-old you, could he imagine the person that's sitting right here right now? Could he even imagine that? Because I talk to myself all the time. I don't think 17-year-old me could even imagine me today.
Yeah.
What do you think he was 17-year-old you would say to you right now?
You know what's funny, man, is I live the life now that I used to act like I lived. You know what I'm saying? And so I will tell you, 17-year-old me definitely thought I was going to be somebody. Like 17-year-old me saw it. What the the road to get there definitely didn't look like I thought it was gonna look. I literally thought at 30 years old I was gonna be retired on a boat,
right.
going down the
Sail in
coast
the
of
water,
France.
huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
literally.
Right.
And to the point that when I turned 30, I almost had like a midlife crisis because I always had this imaginary clock in my head, man. Like I always felt like I was racing against time. And I had this whole vision of how my life was going to be at 30. Like I'm retired, man. I'll be millionaire. Yep. And I think what the 17-year-old me would be surprised by is that like you don't you don't need all of those superficial trappings of success to be somebody. That's what he would have been surprised by. You know, you don't need the Ferraris and you don't need that boat to be somebody in your community, to be able to come in and pour into people's lives. Like you don't need all of those things, man. Like just have an idea and a purpose and then have the kind of the crazy commitment to that thing to make it happen, and you're gonna get there, man. So I think he'd be surprised on the road and all of that, but I think he would be comfortable with the results, man.
Man, that's to find out. I mean, to talk to you, and you are an executive director, and founder of a very, very, very successful company.
Appreciate that, brother.
And man, it's to me, it's you're doing something that's no one around here is really doing, especially rapper-wise. Most of our rapper brothers, they're still caught in the loop, man. They don't want to leave the loop. They don't want to leave the stage. They don't want to leave the limelight. How hard was it for you to leave it behind? Because you were signed to Rocket Records. Man. You were on MTV.
I had a run, brother. I had a run.
You a legend.
Yeah,
you're a legendary
man
in Phoenix. You know what I mean?
Period.
That. You are, man, because at that time you were only one of 3 or 4 MCs that had even signed to a major deal. So I mean, how did it feel, man, to start this after coming back? Did you feel like you get a second coming of life? Or this was just like, this is just the path?
You know what it was? You seen that movie Paid in Full, right?
Definitely.
So I don't know if you remember, but there was that scene with I think Money Making Mitch, Mekhi Phifer's character, and he was having a conversation about leaving the game. And he was like, I could leave the game, man, but would they still love me? You know what I'm saying? Like, will they still love me if I like this is who I am? This is why people love me. So, bro, it was hard as hell. Like it was. I went through one of the roughest journeys in my life when I started transitioning out of music, because first thing I did was I made a commitment that with my last album, that Rockets album, it was like, I'm gonna put everything, I'm gonna put everything out there. I'm gonna leave the floor, blood, sweat, and tears, everything out there so I can try to make this thing that I'm trying to have happen. That I had been working on for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's 10 years of your life that you dedicate to this thing. And you have to mourn that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you choose to move away, you have to mourn that. And so, but what I did was I wanted to leave without any regrets. So I put the album out, I went on the run, I did everything that I felt I needed to do to really try to get me over that hump. And it just didn't go up that hump how I needed it to. And that was hard, man. It was hard because sometimes it's hard to deal with failure. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not, especially because I'm an ambitious, aggressive, competitive person. And to humble yourself and be willing to accept, like, man, this ain't going the way you want it to go. You got to pivot. You got to be comfortable with pivoting. And so it was hard, man. And it took me about 1.5 years of soul searching. You know what I'm saying? To really dig into, okay, who do I want to be? Because I really shed, again, all those trappings of what I felt made me successful. You know what I'm saying? The job titles, the superficial things that I was chasing, and I really had to sit with myself in the mirror for 1.5 years. And deconstruct myself. And I was faced with a lot of good and bad, the unsavory parts of my character, how I was materialistic and shallow and so many things, man. so going through that process and being able to face my own demons
Mhm.
put me into the place that I'm the guy that's sitting in front of y'all here today, because I'm a whole person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I'm not doing things to fill gaps or fill holes, or
Right.
I'm not out here projecting and bleeding my pain on
Mhm.
everybody else. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it took a journey of healing and for me to tap into my own power and really have a conversation with who do I really want to be
Right.
when I wake up every day. When I walk in the room, what do you want to say? Who do you want to say you are?
Mhm.
What do you want to wake up doing every day?
Man.
And I had a conversation with God. And I said, God, I want to wake up every day getting paid well for doing what I love. Like that was my conversation. Like I want to wake up, I want to do purpose-driven, passionate work. I want to wake up every day doing what I love, and I want to get paid well doing
And
it.
that's another thing, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
people have to realize that what you love,
Yeah.
like we may think, oh, I love music,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always have to be that you have to be a musician.
You got it.
You can be a director.
Got it.
You can be a producer.
Got it.
You can be the engineer.
Yep.
There's so many things that you can own studios
Got
and
it.
bring up rappers in and let them make music in
You
your
got it.
studio.
You
There's
got
other
it.
ways to be a part of the business.
And we need more of that.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like even back when I was playing basketball, like I really wish when I saw my hoop dreams wasn't going nowhere,
Mhm.
I wish somebody would have sat me down and said, yo, you can go be a ref. You could run the shot clock.
Right.
You could run camps. Like you
Definitely.
could still make money around the
Right.
game.
Yep.
But I think that it could have been a middle child in me. It
Mhm.
could have been the fact that what my vision of success looked like. But I felt like you had to be the guy on the camera.
Right.
You had to be the guy on the camera in order to really be successful, and didn't really think that those people behind the scenes
Mhm.
were successful.
But
no, they're making more money often.
You were good at it.
Yeah.
You were
appreciate
good,
it,
man.
brother.
You
I
were
appreciate
good.
it.
You made it to where you made it for a reason, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what you did moved the state of Arizona forward,
Man, I
moved the
appreciate
culture
that.
forward.
I appreciate
Let people
that,
know
brother.
that, because dog, I'm telling you, I told you last time.
Yeah.
I was living in St. Louis at the time. I didn't even know it was black people out there. So when I saw you, I was like, wow, you just niggas out there? Dang. So then I'm like, hey, I'm moving.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
man,
Next thing you know, I'm
appreciate
here.
that.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
So
man.
those are the things I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
You never know the influence you have on
Wow.
people, man.
Wow.
And then it's not always, like I said, what you think or believe is going to be your path. I never
Yeah.
thought we would do something like this.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do music too.
Yeah.
And I know how hard the transition was for me
Yeah.
to stop, you know what I mean, and to quit and just say, you know, I didn't even make it that far.
Yeah.
But it still was tough, because
Right.
this is what I saw myself as.
Right.
And I couldn't imagine seeing some success,
Yeah.
and then going to that spot and then have to come back down.
Yeah.
And leave your ego there. I mean, I know that's tough.
Yeah. And it's kind of like you said, though, man, everything happens for a reason. You got to understand that.
Mhm.
So there's a book called The Alchemist. And in the book, he says the good and bad in the world are written with the same hand. And often when bad things happen, you're thinking, why me? When good things happen, it's also, why not you? You
Right,
know,
right.
and so
True.
either way it goes. And one thing that I appreciate about even my journey now is that I feel like I have an opportunity to present another pathway
Mhm.
for guys that come from the communities that we come from.
Definitely.
Because we're not thinking nonprofit work, man.
No.
Because one, the term nonprofit makes you think like, oh man, I can't make no money. How am I gonna make a living? You know what I'm saying? When it's important for people to realize and understand this key thing. Because because when you're talking about influence, we don't know who's going to listen to this and who this conversation may hit and resonate.
That's real.
So I value the fact that I get to show up every day, being who I am, looking how I look, doing this work, because I think it does create an example, right?
It does.
And I think what people have to understand is that the only difference between a nonprofit and a for-profit is a tax-exempt status. That's it. It just and both are still businesses. Both you still have the obligation of generating revenue. It's just the business model in which you do that is a little different. Through nonprofits, you need to have your donors, and you got to do your fundraising events and all of these things to generate your revenue towards creating your product.
Right.
And our product is for the community good, whether it's we're trying to animal welfare, or in my case, I'm trying to support teachers
Mhm.
so students
Mhm.
can have a more enriched learning environment. Our
Definitely.
work is really about students.
Right.
Teachers are just our pathway to get there. You
Okay.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And so, but our product is how do we impact the classroom? How do we create more enriched
Mhm.
classrooms by doing this work with teachers? So we even still have a product
Mhm.
that we have to create. We have a product that we have to give out.
Right.
Where like Coca-Cola is just doing a Coke
Right.
can,
And that's their
and
product.
that's their product. That's
Mhm.
what you're buying.
Right.
And so that's the first thing. And then you can make a great living
Mhm.
doing good work,
Right.
impacting people. Like it is possible.
Mhm.
You have to, you definitely have to still figure out your business model. It's got to be driven by purpose and passion. The
Mhm.
same way in for profit though. Like
Right.
if you're trying to start an app,
Mhm.
just because you saw somebody else running an app, if you ain't really like passionate and purpose driven about why you want to create this app,
That's real.
your app's not going to be
It's not gonna do
successful.
well.
You know, and
Mhm.
so most of the time when you're doing things just for the pursuit of money alone,
It's not gonna work out
it's
well.
not really going to work how you
No.
want. Because even if you hit lightning in a bottle and
Mhm.
you make a lot of money real fast,
Mhm.
you're not going to sustain it.
That's
Most of
real.
those people blow that money just
That's
as
real.
fast as they made it.
Yep.
And the people that have to work for it,
Mhm.
and they have to, because when you're doing what you're passionate and purpose driven around, when you run into those obstacles,
Mhm.
and it doesn't deter you. Like
Right.
when I launched $1 Million Teacher Project, like I'm literally trying to support teachers in a state that in many ways shows it doesn't care about
In
education,
most
right?
ways.
You know, and so so I'm here like I want to support teachers, and so
Mhm.
you have so I ran into plenty of obstacles, still do. But what happened for me, where I really realized, like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do, is that every time I hit an obstacle, it motivated me.
Right.
It excited me.
Mhm.
I wanted to figure out how to turn those no's into yeses.
Right.
And
Right.
then it became a puzzle. Like it
Mm.
became like, okay, I need to, somebody tells me no, it's not no, it's just not now.
Right.
I just have to figure out. So now I have to dissect why they told me no.
Mhm.
So now I can come back again 6 months from now, a year from now, with
And
a
get that yes.
refined approach, with a better pitch. So
Wow.
now I can get them as my
Right.
business partners, right?
Right.
And a perfect example of that, man, is I was working on building a relationship with the Department of Education for 2 years and
I know.
got plenty no's,
Mhm.
on that road. And in 2022, man, they invested $500,000
Holy crap.
into our work after 2 years of not right now. No, well, we're already doing this. Nope, this isn't, we don't see the alignment. After going through that and then coming back, reworking what we
Mhm.
do, figuring out how to partner, finally getting to a point that we could deliver something that that was mutually valuable
Mhm.
and they were willing to invest in, you know,
Wow.
and it was game changing. It was game changing for
So
us.
I want to ask how do you deal with the politics of education? And we just had a big election where Tom Horn
Oh
was elected into office.
man,
He said his number one priority is critical race theory.
yeah,
Something that it's not a big issue really to the
yeah,
people and the people on the streets. They're not. It's not an issue for the students. Illiteracy is.
yeah,
Not graduating and know how to read is.
yeah,
Not having a college pathway is.
yeah,
But we're focused on critical race theory
yeah.
and things like that. So how do you deal with the politics of Arizona education department?
Whew. Brother. I gotta choose my words carefully on this topic.
Mhm.
But the way that I approach it is support of teachers should be a bipartisan issue.
Definitely.
It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you sit on.
That's real.
It doesn't even really matter what you think the curriculum should look like. The reality is that we need a teacher to deliver it.
Mhm.
And we need to make sure that that educator is happy, healthy, and whole. They're
That's real.
excited, they're skilled
Man.
to come in here and deliver that.
Mhm.
Because teachers are our first advocates.
Man.
Teachers are our first mentors.
Man.
Teachers are the first ones exposing us to how big the world
That's real.
is, helping us kind of figure out what we want to do when we
Mhm.
grow up.
That's real.
They're an extension of our households.
Mhm.
Teachers are all of that in one person.
That's real.
So when you think about return on investment, investing in the education professions impacts on average 25 to 30 students a day, 3,000 kids a year.
Man.
That's 25 to 30 families a day, 3,000 families a year. And that's just
Man.
off of one educator,
Right.
right? And so my appeal always is I don't want to get into weeds with you around your politics.
Mhm.
you can believe what you can believe, but let's figure out the intersection on how we can work together for the betterment of this profession. Because if we do that, it's going to impact students, you know. And so I try to focus on the common ground, and I feel like that's been what's been my secret sauce. But it can get challenging, man, because sometimes you're in environments where the views being presented are really counter to what you believe. And that does get sticky because, you know, then it turns into an ethical issue. It turns into an integrity issue. And I never want to compromise my integrity, man. And so, it takes some strategy. It takes some compromise, and it really takes. But the main thing that drives me is I always try to get back to the center. Let's figure out what it is that we both care about. I don't want to, because I think we do a lot of focusing on what makes us different instead of the things that make us the same. And there are really some common things that we all care about. You know what I'm saying? We want our kids to have a good education. Now we can split hairs about what you want the curriculum to look like. No, but we know we want all of our kids to have a good school, good education. We know we want them to have good teachers. We know that we want to be able to provide clothing, shelter, and food for our kids. Now, what might be on your TV may be different than what I want to watch. And I could choose to argue with you about what you're watching on TV, and now it disrupts everything else. Or I can focus on, like, no, there are some common things that I know we all care about. And I know that this particular role plays a part in that. So I only want to focus on that with you. We don't got to go get a beer afterwards. Let's just figure out how we can do what we can for this profession, because it benefits us all.
Brother, that's the way
for
real. Because to navigate this, you have the right mental mindset.
You stress me out just talking about it, because I'm telling you, man, it's not always easy.
I know it's not easy.
And especially right now, man,
It's
there's
tough,
there's things that go on, and you're really like kind of like the third, fourth person I've had a conversation just this week alone about some things that are being said, and because of the work that I'm doing, the place I've put myself in, now people are kind of coming to me like, okay, well, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to say? Now you've created this platform, so now you have a bit of a obligation and responsibility.
Yeah, man.
And that's when it starts to get tougher. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're just building and everybody's like, yeah, that's cute. You know, yeah, good. Okay, I'll support that. Yeah. But now once you start kind of building and people are investing in it, and people are starting to care about what you do, and now they're putting a level of responsibility on you. And you gotta that adds a different level of navigation, because you can't be all things to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I have to remind myself of that. You can't be everything to everybody.
You're gonna need more. We need more people to get involved.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching Florida every day.
Yeah.
And right now they're the blueprint for what the other Republican governments are following.
Yeah.
And if we start getting some of the stuff that they're doing, man, we got to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And parents, people, we have to do something to try to make, I mean, our children's education is number one. We don't have private school money. We have public school money. And we have to do more things to make sure that money is going to these public schools and not to these private schools. Last year, all the money went to the private schools. We read some numbers where public schools lost money, and these private schools gained money because of that law. I think Katie Hobbs did
the school choice vouchers.
The school choice vouchers. She did move that back because it was ridiculous. With a veto. And you know, it's just the little things that we have to fight for in this state, just to get these kids to get a decent education, man. For these teachers don't have to have 35 students in one setting. I mean, it's such a fight, and I give a hand to you, man.
I appreciate it,
for doing what you can to help to get the situation better, bro, because it's so difficult here. And I come from Illinois, man, and we have some of the best. We have some of the best districts in the state, man. And it's hard for me to fathom and understand why we don't want to put money into our public schools. And it's just
you know what?
weird.
I think it's wrapped into power dynamics. I think it's because, so this is what I say. Education is the great equalizer.
It is.
If you're trying to empower a person, if you're trying to empower a community, you're trying to give a community the tools to their own salvation.
That's real.
Not create a relationship where the community has to depend on me for their salvation. No, I'm trying to give you the tools to your own salvation, to create your own solutions.
That's real.
That starts with education.
Definitely does.
And that can be very scary to a certain population of folks,
That's
right?
real.
And when we really start talking about empowerment, and a lot of my conversations aren't about equality. Equality is like a popular word. It's more about equity. It's about equity and access, because we can both sit here and say, yeah, we can all look at the TV. That's equality.
Right.
But if I'm blind or if I had bad vision, I need glasses to watch that TV.
Right.
But if we're talking equality, it's like, no, there's a TV there. You can see it. Like, watch it. No, we need equity. We need equitable access.
That's real.
And we need equitable access to seats at the table, decision making. It comes down to equity for me. And so that's why my approach is all about community, community impact. $1 Million Teacher Project is grassroots for a reason.
Right.
That because what I believe is that there is power amongst the people, and you have to give people the tools to understand how to be involved.
That's real.
You got to have you got to be able to give people the confidence that they know they can be a part of this system. And then you have to give them the pathways for involvement.
Yep.
$1 Million Teacher Project truly only creates the pathways for involvement.
Right.
So because I know that everybody's not going to be a crazy teacher fan like me, right? And go out and launch an organization and dedicate 6-7 years of your life to building this thing from scratch. Not everybody's going to do that.
Right.
But what I believe is that everybody in some small way wants to get involved. Everybody in some small way wants to impact the community.
Right.
Everybody in some small way wants to make a difference. So I have to be able to create ways that is sustainable for you to do that, that is realistic for your life, for you to be able to participate in the work that we're doing.
Right.
So what you all are doing today is an example of that. Just allow me to come up here and talk about it. This is how you create awareness.
Right.
So now somebody's listening to this and they might choose to get involved. They might choose to donate. So just in some small way, you were able to participate in my work that wasn't outside of what you're already doing, you know? And so everything we do really kind of operates that way. We create programs where people can get involved with helping us recognize teachers, bring a lunch to a school. We do these monthly teacher recognition events where we go out to the campus, pull out the red carpet, and we're celebrating teachers on campus.
I've been seeing you doing a show on a really nice
set.
Let's explain a little bit about that, what you guys got
I'm
going on.
gonna have to have y'all come down. So in addition to my work with $1 Million Teacher Project, like I need another thing to do. I'm also involved with the Social Television Network.
Oh, okay.
So the Social Television Network is a streaming television platform. People can visit it, stntv.com. You can download it on your phone.
Okay.
I like to describe it as like a PBS version of Netflix.
Okay.
So what the network revolves around is highlighting community leaders, corporations that are doing good work, people that are really trying to impact the community. So like we were saying earlier, I literally wake up every day and all of my work revolves around community, impacting community, and highlighting and elevating people that are doing the good work. So STN, we have a show called It Happens at STN that we do once a month.
Okay.
It has 4 segments, one that's focused on homelessness and housing, one that's focused on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, one that's focused on mentorship and youth, and one that's focused on sustainability. And we bring in experts and we bring in the people that are doing the great work in front of a live studio audience. You know what I'm saying? So it's the only place here in Phoenix that you kind of get that late show, Oprah Winfrey vibe where you can actually sit in a live studio audience and watch experts up here talking around important conversations that are impacting this city. So
yes, dude, I want to meet them.
I'm gonna have y'all come down
because
y'all come down.
That's my inspiration, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm trying to get to them.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get to that point to where our show has. We have a live audience.
Well, let's figure it out.
I mean, that's our next step.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, so you got to have goals.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I was looking in their set. Their set is beautiful.
Yeah,
and that's our mission to get a set like that, man.
So the first thing to do, it's kind of like we talked about, is okay. So how can we collaborate? How can we share resources? what's the value add that can be added on both sides, right? And so one of my goals with my involvement with S10 is because I'm there to really help them build and grow the network.
Right.
We want to create a model that can be replicated nationwide.
Definitely.
Because what we're really doing is adding a better experience to local media. Because
man.
right now, traditional news really revolves around the if it bleeds, it leads. And you don't and there's not a lot of space for the people that are doing just good work every day, those good stories. So that's what this space revolves around.
Yeah, and that's what we're about.
Yeah. And so so a part of that and that growing that network is at some point, I want us to also be able to start working with more talent, using that network and that platform to for new voices and people that are also doing things in this space, because that's a growth strategy, you know what I'm saying? Because it can't just be us. So that's really on my mind actively. And as and a part of when we talked about my journey through music, a part of me transitioning out of music is and it's just funny. I keep getting invited to do interviews and stuff, but I'm really more interested in the behind the scenes stuff. You know what I'm saying? I really want to be more about spotting talent, spotting powerful voices that are doing good things. And now how can I use my resources? How can I use the things that I'm involved in to help elevate those voices? So that's really what drives me now. That's really what I'm passionate and motivated by, is how can I shine a spotlight on talent that we have out here and give a platform. So, man, I definitely want y'all to come down to the studio.
We got to come check it out.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna send y'all an invite to one of our upcoming shows. If that doesn't work, we'll figure out one that does. But
we'll come sit in the audience and just check it out. You know what I mean? For real. I mean, it's just rubbing elbows with those people, man. It's
100%.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And I look, dog, we don't have media, man.
Yeah.
We don't.
In Phoenix, we have a couple things. I love what the Informant is doing.
Yeah.
I love what Phoenix Soul is doing.
Yeah.
I love what some of the people who are doing locally, you know what I'm saying? Some of the smaller people who are doing Phoenix black media.
Yeah.
But man, we have to figure out how we can bring this together.
Yeah.
Can we be a CNN or a Fox
Man,
News?
how can we do it?
Have y'all ever met Robin Reed with the Black Chamber of Commerce?
No.
Man,
No, we did.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did the
PBS?
that Bell Summit.
Oh yeah, the Bell Summit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so there's meeting and there's meeting.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
We did a
There's
summit and we didn't. We talked to her.
No, Robin's a brother.
Oh.
Yeah, Robin Reed. He's the CEO of the Black Chamber of Commerce.
I don't think we talked to him.
Man, I'm gonna have to get y'all in the room with Robin Reed. So one reason why I want y'all to come down and we doing this live so everybody here, so this is documented.
Definitely.
So we got to get y'all down to the studio, get y'all introduced to Robin Reed. Robin's one of our co-hosts on one of our segments, so y'all can have this conversation with him.
Okay.
And then we can figure out what are the resources, and I can also look at what resources I can plug y'all into. So Arizona Humanities Council. Have y'all ever applied for Arizona Humanities Council grant?
We have not.
Never even heard of it.
There's a program out right now called the See Me program that's ran by Angela Garman and Shelley Berry. They have a grant application open right now.
Okay.
So they do a cohort where they bring in Black entrepreneurs, Black business leaders to and they essentially provide you seed money towards your venture. I think it's like $16,500 over the year. You know what I'm saying? And it's at least money that you can invest in building your capacity. And it also helps build your network. So I did it. I was a part of their first cohort, and they had other people in this space in there. There was a guy that ran a production company. There was a guy that worked at a radio station. So so I'm gonna send that to y'all too. And then have you ever met Calvin Worthen?
No.
Worthen. Okay. So I'm gonna introduce y'all to Calvin as well. So he runs Phoenix. It's a local Phoenix radio station. They were a independent. They are independent radio, but they just got on the FM dial.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard about him.
And the reason why I want to connect y'all with him is just kind of back to the spirit we said when we first came in here. even though he's radio, you all are trying to create kind of more of a CNN type platform. We all need to talk.
Definitely.
Because same way I'm sitting here telling y'all about resources, they know some resources.
Definitely.
So we all need to just talk
Mhm.
and start figuring out how we can pour into what we're all doing.
Man,
Because what we don't need is us all doing the same thing.
that's
Right.
real.
Like, I don't need to do what y'all doing. So
That's
let me
real.
figure out how to help you bolster what
Right.
you're doing. You don't need to necessarily do a radio show. Like,
That's
let's pour into the folks that are doing
Mhm.
that, because what we also need is a network of people doing things,
real.
because that's how we really create a culture. That's how we really make a thriving creative community.
Real.
Because also, man, so I have a whole kind of game plan. So first, I'm getting $1 Million Teacher Project where it needs to go.
Mhm.
But after that, I really do want to be back into the creative spaces, but behind the scenes investing in
right.
our creative community.
Mhm.
And so this conversation really speaks to me, man, because I think this is what we need out here.
We do.
And because we have to create a scene
Mhm.
where our artists
Right.
can go on a promo tour with just
Definitely.
our platforms.
real.
They ain't come here to Habari. They
Mhm.
ain't go to get an interview on the Informant. They can
Mhm.
go perform at XYZ venue and not always feel like our talent has to leave to LA or to New York or
We
even
can
now
build it.
Atlanta. We
We
can
can build
build
it.
it.
That's real, man.
We have the resources
Mhm.
right now. We just have to
Definitely do, man.
connect those resources.
Mhm.
And so I'm at least do my part starting here with y'all,
Mhm.
connecting y'all to some people that I know. And if we each do the same thing, we can get there, man. And we can really get there in a relatively shorter amount of
That's
time.
real.
You know what I'm saying? Because there are dollars out there, man. Like
Man.
there's dollars out
there.
there. And now it's about the awareness. So we make sure we know about those resources. And so the ones that I know of right now and the people that I think can really help what y'all are doing or what you're
Yeah.
striving to do, those connections are being made ASAP.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. We get a lot of help
Yeah.
from a lot of people, man. We
do.
appreciate everyone.
Yeah.
PBS. I forget
They've
who's
given us
the director of PBS over there. What's her name
Adrian
again?
Farewell.
Adrian Farrell.
Okay,
She's
good.
man.
She's
If you don't know
excellent.
her,
Yeah, I don't know her.
she's dope, and
That's good.
she's direct black lady, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Running PBS
Okay.
in this area, and she gives us a lot of opportunities. You know
Good.
what I'm saying, for brothers and stuff out there, man. That it's pretty dope what she's
Good.
doing, and I just think that people like that leading,
Yeah.
and all of us coming together, man,
Yeah.
trying to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And I really do believe Phoenix has the potential
Yeah.
to be that big difference in the West,
And like
especially
you
for
said
black
earlier,
Yeah.
with us doing the Bridget Pettis basketball skills camp
people. Hmm.
this past week, and not only that, doing the fundraiser for her
Mhm.
previous to that,
Right.
those types of things, putting you in the room to be able to rub elbows and
Yep.
sow seeds
Yeah.
and network with those types of people that are
Mhm.
doing those things for the community
That's
Yeah.
right.
will give you some inspiration
Yeah.
to maybe see, okay, can I go to this path? Can I go to
Mhm.
this?
Yeah.
And how much of my time
You got
can I
it.
volunteer?
You
Yeah,
got
man.
it. You got
And
it.
you always see too that all these people are so humble, man.
Yeah.
And they're always so giving with their time, and they always doing everything they can for the community.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I have to, I've been looking up to, man. I haven't always been that person,
Yeah.
but
Me neither.
I'm looking at these people, and I'm like, man, you people are my inspiration to
Yeah.
get to that point,
Yeah.
where I can help out and I can spend time trying to make people better,
Yep.
trying to make the kids better.
Yep.
She's out there running a whole camp. Bridget Pettis don't have to do any of that.
Yep.
She could be at home chilling.
Yeah.
She's out there running around with kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
Helping
Bridget's
them learn
great.
how
She
to
does
play basketball.
Yeah, and she does the community garden
Yeah.
stuff
man.
and
Yeah, man.
and all of that, man. So I'm glad to hear about the support you all are already doing. I mean, I can look at this nice ass studio y'all got and tell y'all getting some support. But now it's about how can we bring even more? So
Right.
this really can
Yeah.
become a
Yeah,
CNN.
man.
You
That's
know,
what I'm
this
saying.
really can move like that.
Mhm.
So
And that's my whole point, was just that it takes a community, man.
yeah.
It really does. It takes the whole community coming together and doing each other and helping each other. We did
Yeah.
a lot to help them, and
Yeah.
they do a lot to help us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of things we could have charged a lot of people for, we don't charge them anything.
Yeah.
Because we're like, man, we're gonna do this
Yeah.
because we feel like this is how you set that foundation of
Yeah.
networking and showing you guys that we
It's how you build those
Got it.
right.
relationships.
And this is, we
Yeah.
know what we're doing, and we feel comfortable in what we're doing, and,
Yeah.
and you guys are like the product at the end.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
And
And too many people focus on the dollars too early,
That's
often.
real, man.
And
That's
it's like
real,
build
bro.
the community, build the audience, build your value
That's real, man.
proposition. Because when you build something valuable, people are going to invest in
They are
it
going
without
to.
you even having to ask.
That's
Like
real, man.
if you build something valuable, you build it. So focus on the building. Like
That's
the
real.
money's gonna come, and I get it. We all need money to feed our kids and to pay bills. Like I get it. But if you can be patient with your journey, it takes at least, and this is for people listening, it takes at least 5 years to turn
real.
any business into to take any business into profitability.
real.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. You're
That's
running a nonprofit, you're running a restaurant, you're doing.
Mhm.
It takes 5 years. So what that means is that you have to be able to commit for 5 years. So whatever your idea is, to being broke for 5
That's right.
years
Eating
until
ramen
this.
noodles and hot dogs
You know what I'm
and
saying? But
bologna
it's the
sandwiches.
truth.
It is.
And again, I told you earlier how the Department of Education invested $500,000 into our work. That was in our fifth year, straight up and down. So we turned 7 this year. That was in our 5th year. Because really it takes you 5 years to build credibility, build your reputation up,
that's real.
build your network in a way. So you have to be able to commit to that. And if you can commit to that, opposed to trying to nickel and dime everybody, and I need to make this. Like you have so much more that's going to come to you on the other side. But that's also why what you do has to be passion driven and purpose driven. You know, so yeah, it's coming, man. I'm excited to be a part of your network. I'm excited about what you all are doing, and I want to commit what I can, or the resources, or the people I know, to try to help further it.
Man,
we
really, really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, for real, man, because like I said, this is not just for us, it's for the community.
Yeah.
I want to try to build something that's everyone can profit off. I want to pay, I want to help to pay for other people's colleges.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the type of network that can do that.
And being able to provide like a media internship where you come in and
Man,
you're a
people
producer
learn,
intern, you an anchor intern.
Engineers. It's so much that
Because your engineer's sneezing right now. He's like, I don't know if that's how professional that is. You know, I'm just playing with you, man.
But I try to tell him all the time what he's learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the things that he's learning and picking up that people wish that they had the opportunity to do. You take advantage of what you got what you have right now, bro. And I'm gonna get him out there.
And build his network and those resources and opportunities are gonna come from that.
Real,
if you put the mission first, the resources will come. So even with that, man, like I gotta help y'all tap into like GCU has they have a media arts program you guys can get interns from. Sounds like you already tapped into PBS, but PBS has the Cronkite School down at
Walter
ASU.
Cronkite,
So I'm sure y'all know y'all can get interns from there.
Really? I did not know that.
It's a journalism school.
Yep.
I didn't know we can get interns.
Yep. Y'all can get interns. So there's a site called Handshake. So y'all got to hop on Handshake and just put some positions on there.
Yeah, man. I would love to get a couple of the engineers in here and teach them.
Yeah, because you're giving them opportunity, man. You're helping them learn how to work these cameras.
They're also getting that experience.
And they're getting experience
in the real world too.
Yeah,
Before we got the kind of the big grants that we've been able to secure, I ran $1 Million Teacher Project off of interns. Like literally all the work that we do, it was all through interns. It was me and an army of interns. Any year I would have up to like 30 interns.
Wow.
Like working on school campuses, working in the office. So I built everything off of a network of interns, man.
Wow,
like
man.
straight up and down.
You're gonna have to hit me on to that, bro.
Yeah.
And, man, I'll be humbled to take your help. You know what I mean? I really
That's
would.
what I was trying to say too. Like
we need it.
Yeah.
Us getting in, like what you said with GCU, not just only with the colleges, but the high school.
Yeah.
Get them at the high school level. The kids that want to do photography, videography, the kids that are into culinary, the kids that are into film and talking about sports and stuff like that, and have them. Oh, you want to do it? Come on the show and talk about nothing but football with me.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on and talk about nothing but
And just so many, we have so many options we could do for what we're trying to do, because I mean, like we said, it's a network.
Yeah.
So we entertainment, sports,
okay,
news, journalists, writers.
Yeah.
We have writers that write for our website all the time. So anyone, you know what I'm saying, any writers is out there that want to write. I know it's hard to build a portfolio. We have a site for you. You could post your site, your
To
news
build your
to build your
portfolio.
portfolio up, and you can post on HabariEntertainment.com and post your articles, and we get them published for you, man. We do that for people all the time.
Okay.
So
Elijah,
those are things that we what's up?
Elijah said this needs to be a rerun episode later.
That's dope, man. That's
Yeah,
dope.
most
We
definitely.
giving food out right now.
Right, that's what it's
He
about.
said we're dropping all gems.
Yeah. So, but speaking of what you're talking about, though, man. So also, I want to connect y'all to Dina Cutler. She runs Hope College and Career Readiness.
Okay.
And their school is all about trying to connect kids to career opportunities, those type of things. So it's a way that at least you all can start, getting some pipelines of some diverse talent in here that can help with building capacity in some other areas. Because when you mentioned high schools, that made me start thinking about that. Like, and there are, because I even know Phoenix Union High School District is opening. They're opening a school called PHXU.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be a career focused.
It's a charter school.
High school. No, it's not going to be a charter.
Wow. Okay.
But it's a career focused high school.
Kind of like a
vocational type of thing. Something like yeah. So yeah, man. You're getting my wheels turning right now. So So I have a number of people that I'm gonna just try to do make sure I have your email and try to do some virtual introductions. Sure. I think a starting place, I'm not trying to tell you how to run y'all show, but I just think y'all need to have Robin on this show.
Definitely.
And like interview him and really kind of build that relationship with him, because he's a wealth of information, wealth of resources. Definitely. Like he runs the Black Chamber of Commerce, man. Like Robin to get you plugged in. So that's gonna be the first connect I made.
That's been my whole thing, because I mostly do all the bookings and guest bookings and stuff like that. So it's been kind of hard, like
to get those type
bookings and to get those type clientele to come in. Like I'm asking all the time, but I'm just like getting turned down.
You're gonna get a lot of no's before you get that yes.
Right.
You got
just like you were saying earlier, you get more no's or not right now than you do, or did you do have some people that they say and then don't show up.
Yep. So when y'all have Robin on here, then y'all have Robin help y'all book y'all next guest. Same way I'm about to do y'all with Robin. Be like, all right, Robin, Lloyd said, make sure we ask you to help us book the next guest. Because, Robin has influence, man. And Robin he'll also come in here and sit and he'll be like, all right, I think so-and-so will be good, or whatever the case may be. And then, because then when you have us helping y'all do that, it makes it a little easier. You still gonna, but this is entertainment. You still gonna run into your headaches. It's unavoidable. But you can even start building your net. We can help build your network around that type of stuff too, man.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We're gonna come right back with Lloyd Hopkins. Let's go ahead and get into Habari Weekly, man. Run that for us.
Now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison. Sponsored by
no one, but let's talk about some healthy snacks. If you head over to our website, www.habarientertainment.com, we have Naked Nutrition up in the banner. Select click on the link and you can go to the page. 15% off your first purchase. A lot of healthy snacks there. We got cookies. They have proteins, all type things, and you'll be helping us out. get us helped out, you know. But anyway, let's talk about some news this week, man. We're gonna go over a couple things. One of the biggest news stories we had this week was Tekashi. I used to like him calling Teriyaki 6ix9ine. That's what I used to like to call him. But
Man,
we're gonna call him Tekashi 6ix9ine.
cautionary tale, man. Right. Cautionary tale.
He was rushed to a Florida hospital with shocking injuries after a group jumped him in a gym in a savage attack. The rapper was rushed to the hospital after he was jumped in the gym by a group of men. His lawyer says 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, reportedly taken from the scene in an ambulance after the attack. The attorney Lance Lazaro told TMZ that 6ix9ine was in the sauna at LA Fitness in South Florida, where he was suddenly attacked by a group of men. Watching the video, man, it's pretty sad, man. You know, to me, what's sad is this. You know, you reap what you sow. We know how the streets are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The streets justice, you know what I mean? You know, I don't really like getting into all that stuff. Right. But to me, man, what kind of makes it ridiculous, all of the adults so happy about this beating. Yeah. This dude getting beat up. All the people that's 35, 40 years old that clock into their job every day, worried about snitching.
Yeah.
You know, I understand.
Right.
You know what I mean? I understand. I used to run in those areas, but dude, I go to work now.
Yeah.
I don't care about street justice anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why so many people are so invested into this. I saw so many posts, so many people laughing and hee-hawing about this situation. I wish we would grow up, man. Yeah. I wish we would grow up, man. We have to be adults. We're supposed to be the ones teaching the children and showing the children, man.
Yeah. And that's why I say, man, it's a cautionary tale, because the sad thing is that there's like this clout culture that's been created, man, and where it's to a point where sometimes kids will go to extreme measures and put themselves in harm's way, which ultimately this young man did. He put himself in harm's way for likes and for attention and for clout. Yeah. And eventually that energy you put out there is going to find you in some shape, form, or fashion. And really, when I saw him really starting to come into popularity, I would really have conversations with my kids. I was like, what this young man is doing is dangerous.
Very dangerous.
And I don't think you should be looking at this as an example of how you become popular or famous. And, you know, and I just hope that people learn from it more than anything, man. And especially the kids. I think that
I hope so.
Yeah.
And today's we've seen so many of these young rappers getting killed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so sad, man. And then today I read another rapper talking about he goes to practice to the what do they call it, where you practice shooting at?
The gun range.
The gun range. He goes to the gun range every day because he don't want security guards.
Yeah.
I don't remember the rapper's name.
Which is nuts.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why are we playing with our lives?
Yeah.
I don't understand this today, why everybody playing. You're trying to be Mr. Tough Guy. You're making good money. That is what life is about, man.
But what I also say, though, is that what also some of these rappers do, these young men or young women have to make sure they're not doing is trying to chase appearances. Man. And what I can say is, because for my time in music, I definitely got caught up with it, man. Because you got to look a certain way. Definitely. You gotta definitely try to look like you're making more money than you can. And so what I would just say is that for some of these young brothers and sisters, like if you can't afford security, you know, just also make sure that you're moving wisely. Like once you start to elevate your status, once you start to elevate like you do, you know, unfortunately, you also attract envy, you know, and some of that energy. So you just got to make sure you move smart. Don't focus on being being tough. Like you really get into this business, or you get into business to elevate, to be able to have new experiences. And it's really confusing to me when somebody finally starts achieving success and they want to double down on kind of the ignorance and you know, you know, you know, it's like you making millions of dollars, man. Like don't try to be a tough guy. You don't have to be a tough guy.
You don't have to screaming Jamorant all over.
I mean, it's the crazy part is that, you know, it's hard for brothers like Jamorant because we think that
being hard to school.
we're in that age limit, man.
Yeah.
Coming from the hood, I know how it is, man. You can't leave your homies.
Yeah.
And they don't want to change who they are. They don't want to become now since we with Ja Morant, we all want to become businessmen. Nah, man. They still hood cats.
Yeah.
And they still want to be on hood stuff.
Right.
It's sometimes you have to make the decision when you're Ja Morant to just drop those brothers, man.
Yeah. Or also you got to realize that that if people are pushing you to do negative things, they don't really love you.
That's
because also what I would just argue is that a person like that, the people around him should be insulating him because he's the head of this. And if he falls, that means everything, all the fly stuff y'all doing, because y'all ain't in the league.
Right.
He's in the league.
That's
and
real.
if y'all don't protect him, then y'all all fall. And when I saw that situation, the first thing that I thought about is he has to really evaluate his circle and how much
that's real.
Where are the gaps or the holes in his circle, because somebody in that circle ain't moving like they love him.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? And that would be my first evaluation, because they should be shielding him from all of that stuff, man. Like
they said Carmelo Anthony went through the same thing, and he had to, change who he was around.
Yeah.
He had to change. He had to start going around more older people who helped him to make better decisions.
Yeah.
I'm not saying just drop your homies, don't kick with
right.
me, but it's y'all can't travel with me.
And everybody can't go with you. I think one of the parts of growing up, I went through it, I'm sure y'all went through it. Like, guys that I'm around now aren't necessarily the same guys I was with in high school.
That's real,
and I know there's the whole day ones and but sometimes as your life evolves, not everybody's going to evolve at the same pace, and not everybody can go with you. And it is hard, because it was hard for me, man, to kind of cut some of them ties, because I still love some of these guys to this day. But if we're just, sometimes you get to a place you're just not in the same places in your lives. You don't want the same things. And then it potentially becomes destructive for you to try to mix and mingle them both together. And you just got to be aware of that and be strong enough to cut the ties when you need to.
Everybody homeboys can't be like LeBron's.
Yeah.
I'll give it to
that's
LeBron.
What I was about to say. That's what I was
LeBron, I give it to him. His boys came in, they built a media company for him. They built an entertainment company for him.
And he also put them in school. He invested in them going to school.
But he knew these cats was smart and was going to make good decisions.
Yeah.
So did
your homeboys
Shaq
ain't
and all
doing
his
that,
homies.
man.
Shaq literally paid for all his homies' tuition.
Hey, if your homies ain't willing to get educated, if they're not willing to make changes and grow as you're growing, then you have to make. You got to make
Shaq is big on education, because you
got to make the decision.
He tells his kids, he was like, "I will not give you a cent of money until you get 2 degrees."
He told them they poor.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm rich, y'all. You poor."
He said, "You need 2 degrees for me to give you even."
That's dope though, man.
And what I tell cats all the time, and I love that about the pursuing education, and especially like these guys that are coming from the hood or coming from whatever, and you got your crew. You also, and especially as you start elevating, right? When you're the guy with talent and you start elevating, you got to really pay attention to the people that only show up when it's time to pop bottles.
That's real.
And they don't want to show up when it's time to pass out flyers.
Real.
So that was my first, that was like my first indication of who was who, because, we were independent and we were on the grind. And so we had to do all the work. And we had certain people that would show up because I was getting VIP at a club, and we had the section and we had bottles. But then when I was calling these people to, like, okay, we got to go pass out these flyers, man. I need to go out here and sell these CDs. Or they're like, yeah, I'm going to come, and then they don't show. And then, and so so I was always I always paid attention to that. You know what I'm saying? I always paid attention to that because not everybody gets invited to every environment. And if you're just a person that's showing up for the party and not for the work, you love the party. You don't necessarily love me or seeing me be successful.
Right.
You just want the fruits. You love what I have.
There's a quote out here. It's like, fake friends are like shadows. They only come out when the sun's out.
You got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a real good one.
So it's like, man, and I was about to say earlier, LeBron was talking, like, he has that show, The Shop, and him and Will Smith was talking on it.
Right.
And, they were like, they got famous in high school.
Yeah.
And so one thing they were talking about was they had to go to like white high schools. Like LeBron, good sports program, but he still lived in the hood.
Yeah.
So he had to balance that life with, you know what I mean? How do I seem like I'm not a hood? You know what I'm saying? Hood dude at school.
Yeah.
But
that's tough.
I don't know what part of Hargrave Military Academy is hood. for LeBron.
No, it's not. He said he went to a good
living in
school.
the
No, I know he went to a
lived in the
school,
hood.
but
Yeah.
there's no part of where
But Hargrave, you have to live
Hargrave
there.
Military
I
Academy
think he
in
went there
Virginia,
later,
where
though.
it was
He
went.
went there
he
later.
he played
right?
he played for
He went to Hargrave at first, I think. And then he went to. Did he go to Hargrave?
Yeah, he went to Hargrave.
Oh, he did. He probably went to.
I know he went to like a Catholic school. That's the one I saw him on the documentary.
the
he was like
Irish.
on some documentary.
Yeah. I don't know if he went to that one. I don't know.
No, I don't think.
Yeah, I remember reading that LeBron had went to Hargrave Military Academy.
No, he went to. No, he went to St. Vincent.
Go there.
St. Vincent,
St. Mary High School.
There you go.
Well, I know that's where he got drafted out of. I don't know where he was at.
He got drafted out of high school.
He got drafted out of high school.
Yeah, he went drafted out of
all 4 years. They never stay. They rarely go to the same high school.
I think
because that's I think Aiden went out here to a couple high schools.
Yeah.
And then he went somewhere else. But I'm gonna go to this next story. Let's talk about this Uganda bill real fast. Bring that up. So Uganda to jail people who identify as LGBTQ in one of the world's most anti-gay laws. I mean, to me, man, you know I am. I think let people do what they're gonna do, man.
Yeah,
and I mean, you don't have to agree what people are doing, but if they're not harming anyone else, let people do what they do, man. And Uganda, they're tough, man. Kenya, I'm gonna have to talk to my boy Nico, because his country is looking like they're gonna be following suit. Uganda's parliament has passed some of the most sweeping anti-LGBTQ legislation in the world. Some sex acts were already unlawful in Uganda, but on Tuesday night, lawmakers voted in banning identifying as gay or LGBTQ.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even say that you're gay at all. If you do, you can die. They might kill you. In a packed chamber, lawmakers overwhelmingly voted in favor of legislation called the Anti-Homosexuality Bill, with only 2 of the nearly 400 representatives voting against it. Holy crap.
Let people love who they love.
Man.
Let people love. Life is hard. Life is hard enough, know. So let people love who they love.
I mean, that kind of plays into what my hot mess story is this week.
You gonna run it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just run it because it's so connected that I just can't not do it.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan. Sponsored by...
No, it's fine. No.
But this week's hot mess is going to be Lil Nas X because in the backlash that he received was partly in response to the Uganda's anti-gay legislation that was passed. Lil Nas X's presence on social media has gotten him into hot waters again with a tweet. He said about gays in Africa is incredibly insensitive on the heels of the anti-gay legislation that was recently passed in Uganda.
So who got mad at him? Africans?
Yeah. Not just Africans.
Why you saying like that?
Because I'm wondering. I'm like,
it was so many people that
it wasn't people from the U.S.?
Yes, it was. It was people from the U.S. that also got mad at him too. The old-time rapper was met with a ton of backlash on Wednesday after he tweeted, "Where do the gays be in Africa? I want to come there." And that was just right after Uganda had passed that legislation.
That's real though.
Like you were saying that the law, it does punish people up to 10 years behind
or death.
For simply identifying, or like you said, death. But this wasn't his only incident with making anti-gay posts on social media.
That's not an anti-gay. That's pro, right?
Yeah, that was pro, but at the same time, how are you going to ask people in Africa where the gays at? I'm trying to come out there with y'all, and then in the minute that someone from Africa or that area in Uganda says, "Hey, this is where we be at," that's death sentence or jail time for all those people.
But hold on, babe. Not every country has passed. This is Uganda. There's several countries. What, there's 50 something? I don't know. I forget the number. There's a lot of countries in Africa. So he said Africa. He didn't say Uganda.
I know he did. I know he didn't specify Uganda,
penalty.
but at the same time, you should not be making.
I understand
comments like that.
But he can. How else he gonna find where the gay people at if he don't ask the question?
He could have waited till the heat rolled off on
as long as he don't go to Uganda, it's all good. You go to these other places, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Some places are Africa is
I
late.
know it's
they're late when it comes to these type things.
Right.
You know what I mean? That they're still having problems with the genitalia mutilation.
I still don't think
facial mutilation for old tribal
the tribal markings and things like that.
They still having fights like that. So
but at the same time, he should have been a little bit more sensitive to their situation and what was going on.
People online are too sensitive. That's what I'm gonna say. They're too sensitive. They find, man, what the hell? You know what that boy said Africa, not Uganda. It's a huge continent. Hey, what we was learning about today, though, part of Africa might break off, man.
Really? Part of Africa may break off.
What?
Yeah, man. They talking about
the eastern,
the eastern south coast,
like from like an earthquake. Or
from just
from the it's two different
plates are breaking off.
The plates are moving. The plates are moving, kind of like when Pangea when it split.
Just like how we used to split. Brazil used to be a part of Africa at one time. So that broke off, but now a part of Africa is going to break off. They still say it's going to take
like 5 to 10 million years.
But they can already see the lines
happening
where it's going to break at and everything.
Because they were saying in 2018, a video had went viral of
the cracks
that was going through
and it was all the way
ground.
up through Kenya where they can see it.
Wow.
And it's going to break off on the Madagascar side. It's going to break off and
it's going to create a whole new island,
whole new continent, and a whole new ocean.
Wow,
it's gonna be crazy.
Wow,
yeah, man. So on to the last story I got, man. We had a shooting over here. A Phoenix officer was ambushed in South Phoenix. The person was arrested today, and he was on top of the roof. They had to get him off the roof, man. It's getting crazy around here, man. But they were able to get him off the roof and get him arrested, man. The person was shot in the hip, and she had some shrapnel that went into her face. Yeah, it was a female officer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the person who did it was
no, the officer who was hit. But she is doing okay. She's alive, but you know what I mean. This is something that we're dealing with a lot here lately with the shootings with police and the police shooting each other. It's just getting ridiculous.
It is.
Prayers for those families,
man. Most definitely, man. I just hope that we can come to some type of. We need to do something, man. Yeah. Gun violence is just getting ridiculous. What we have up here in Colorado, the young man came in with the gun, shot at the dean. He shot 2 deans, and then a couple hours later, they found him. Dead from self-inflicted wounds.
No, that was a high school student.
Yeah, high school.
He was 17 years old.
17 years old in Colorado.
He was expelled from a previous school due to weapons.
Right, and they was patting this kid down every day.
Every day, pat down.
Not to me.
He had already got in trouble at school for weapons?
He had already got in trouble at school
from another school. So that he goes to a different school. Yeah. And they're like, all right, we're going to pat you down every day. He should have just been kicked out of school. Yeah. We can't take chances like this anymore.
It wasn't a dean. It was the school resource. It was like administrators. The school resource officer.
They was 2 deans.
Wow,
I heard it.
Wow,
was it 2 deans?
Yeah, 2 deans. But
that's crazy.
It's sad, man. It's just the crazy part is he can just go get his hand on a gun at any time. There is just abundance of guns out here. Yeah. So it's really, really sad, man. And hopefully we can do some. Colorado people are really upset because they're like, every week we're coming up here for gun shootings at this school. Someone else was shot outside the school. I think it was
4 times in the last 6 weeks.
So it's been crazy for them. I couldn't imagine if this was my child and going
and
through
having
this,
to
go through this every day
and
to
go
try
up to
to
the school
to see if my kid
down.
is alive or not.
Yeah.
So
it's a terrifying thing, man, when you get a call from the school and your kid's school is on lockdown, and it's scary. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. It's scary. It's scary. Because you want your kids to go to school and feel like they're safe.
That's real, man. And I just can't imagine going to school like this.
Yeah.
I never felt like this when going to school.
Never.
Even when I went in the hood, I never felt like this. I never felt like somebody was gonna come to school and do anything to us. I lived in East St. Louis, and I never thought of that.
At most, you just thought a fight would break out.
Right.
You know, like there may be a fight, but there was never
never
like
had that fear of
nothing
somebody
to
was gonna
where
shoot
the whole campus was gonna be locked down for the whole day.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got
fights,
police crawling the whole school.
right?
Yeah.
Fights. You know what I'm saying? That's about all. You never worried about things like that,
right?
But let's run Habari Sports, man.
Habari Sports.
Are looking like trash, dog.
Breaking my heart. I'm a root for your hometown guy. I root for all things Arizona.
Me too, bro.
You know, like KD. I think he'll be ready for the playoffs.
He'll be ready for the playoffs.
And,
okay.
I don't know, man. Chris Paul is just. I watched the other day, man.
He's old.
Yo, bro, his defense is just not there. People just running past, brother. He just, it's so bad, man.
I think they're tired. They play a lot of games, man. They play a lot of games, and I think we're just trying to get to the playoffs.
Right, right. I mean,
I showed Uncle video yesterday of James Harden and Chris Paul.
In Houston.
He was like, just play defense. He was like, defense? I don't know how to play that.
But James Harden does not know how to play defense.
He said, all I'm going to do is cut to the hole and do my step back three.
But yeah, man, I'm kind of concerned, man. It's going to be tough to try to get everything in motion, and they haven't played together at all.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. Booker is still going. He's hooping. He's doing his thing. But right now, man, he's by himself, man.
He's like, help me.
Yeah, man.
He feel like LeBron in 2017.
Man, the boy, man. And I want to say one thing too, man. Scott Foster, I dislike you, dog. This dude is the worst referee that has ever existed. Man, I watched that game the other day with them versus LA. And
all you heard was
beep, that's all I heard is Scott Foster with the whistle. Beep, These boys had 49 free throw attempts.
They keep calling this one dude Gucci Mane.
To Mane ref. Phoenix is 20.
Double the amount.
And anytime we see Scott Foster's face, we know we're about to lose. that for real, that should be illegal. Yeah. Come on, man. We need the league to look into this. How was Chris Paul like 14 and 0-14 when this dude play? When this dude the ref? Every playoff game, this dude the ref, Chris Paul lost. I don't know, man. He got something against this dude, and it comes off in their games. It's not fair. A video was caught of D'Angelo
Russell
talking about it, and he said, "Hey, look, they got Scott Foster, man. We good. Y'all just chill out. They done." And we caught him on video saying this,
really
knowing that Phoenix is done. We gonna get cooked anytime we see that dude coming to the referee. It's ridiculous. So we got Paul George hurt this week. We are looking like we're probably gonna face the Clippers in the first round. So, but that's gonna be tough.
Is the Lakers gonna make it to the playoffs? Because I think they're what?
They're gonna be in the play-in, but they're gonna lose, man. I'm not seeing them winning anything right now.
Because do they have a losing streak? Or did they
No, they've been playing okay. AD been playing well. You know, they've been playing okay, man. They've been with the moves that they made with Vanderbilt and a couple other people they have.
I mean, they got a lot, as I said, they got a lot more role players.
Yeah, they did. They did, man.
They got a lot more role players that fit in. And it's like they're not forcing each other to, you know what I'm saying, do stuff they don't usually do.
Yeah, and I think
Russell hooping.
Westbrook looks better with the Clippers too.
Yeah.
And he looks, I thought he would look better with the Clippers. It's just that
I hate to say it, but
he could be the point guard there.
This what what's his name? Shannon Sharp. He said he said Russell Westbrook is that one girl that everybody gonna be like, when I get her, I'm gonna treat her right. when you get her,
he looks better with the Clippers, man. And with George going down, he's been stepping up. He's scored a lot of points in the last win that they had. So he just looks better with them. He looks freer. He's not a good off the ball player, man. He has to have the ball in his hand. It's It's just how it is, man. You can't play with LeBron, who's going to be the point guard and the best rebounder and the best scorer on the team. It's hard for somebody when he want to take all the jobs, and you know what I mean. He's gonna make you go stand in the corner.
Did he play point guard
when this dude gonna shoot?
Wasn't he a point guard in Cleveland? Who, LeBron? Or
no, he's always been a point forward. You know, I won't call him a point guard. He's just a point forward. He's a forward plays that has the ball in his hand in the whole game. But anyway, y'all been checking out the NCAA games?
I've
been catching a last night. Yeah,
I think Miami won last night.
Dude, it's so wild. This year is just crazy, man. It's insane.
I heard everybody's brackets got busted.
Man, it's done.
First week, first night.
Well, Arizona goes out and lose to Princeton.
Right.
Princeton, bro. So all the Arizona teams was out the first round. Right. Yeah, we didn't even make it out the weekend.
Man.
Then Alabama loses to San Diego State last night.
Hold up, I haven't seen it. I haven't showed him yet.
So, dog, it's just crazy to see the stuff that's going on in NCAA right now. But hey, I think the one and done and the other opportunities like the G League kind of gives the NCAA a more of a wide open field, and any team can win at any time because everybody is pretty much on the same level, man. Because all the options kids have, they don't have to go to college; they can go do other things, go overseas. They just been taking other options than just going to college.
All the big recruits, like the blue chippers, usually would have went to like a Duke or somewhere.
Right.
The world is wide open to them. So. Yeah, so you're not getting a lot of those into that traditional college system.
They don't have to do that.
KD was talking about it the other day. He was like, man, these G Leaguers are in like the dunk contest and stuff. Mm-hmm. He was like, being an all-star weekend used to be sacred. You know what I'm saying? Like something you actually had to earn.
Right.
But now I feel like he just feels like anybody just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it's a different time.
Look who won the 3-point dunk contest this
year.
Man, Mac McClung
from G League.
He was like,
he did his thing.
Yeah, he was like,
and they actually needed him though, because the dunk contest has been horrible.
But you need cats like that because they're hungry.
Yeah. What did somebody say?
These NBA cats, they fat cats, man. They don't care about this stuff no more.
Somebody said they was like, they can jump.
with Brent Barry proved that a long time ago, back in the 99, 98, something like that when Brent won. But anyway, the thing is though that you don't have to, with the internet, you can be in Iowa and still get an NIL deal in college, and you can still get paid. You don't have to go to Duke. You don't have to go to UCLA. Those things are out of the window now. Kids can stay and go to these little colleges and still get paid, because if you got the Instagram followers, they're gonna come to you.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters nowadays. It's a different world, man.
Yeah, like people blame like Stephen A. Smith, he blames LeBron James for the dunk contest being so.
Well, I mean,
because he says that
he didn't never
participate.
For this generation, and you know. Mike did it, and that made other people want to do it. You know what I mean? So they figured that same thing for LeBron, but I don't know. You can blame him. Who knows?
I mean,
I don't think he would have probably been.
I think he's partly to blame, to be honest.
But he would have lost, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I feel like he wouldn't have been.
Matter.
All he does is a tomahawk.
Right.
It don't matter.
He would have lost. That's the thing. Though.
I understand he's
with him being the biggest
name
in the league right now
to the game.
I mean, because Steph Curry, he did the 3-point contest.
Yeah, he did.
And you know what I'm saying? It's like
you needed a big name out there.
Kind of something the big dog does. I would be interested, because I don't think he's ever actually talked about why he chose not to do it. I heard a theory. Who's the guy? The guy that has been following LeBron since high school. I can't think of his name.
Nick Wright.
No, it's another kind of heavyset guy.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
But he was saying that he had a theory that like LeBron's like his freshman year, his rookie year, he didn't get picked for the All-Star team or something like that, and he's been holding a grudge ever since then, and that's why he first chose to not do the dunk contest and just has never kind of went back on it.
Just keep it going.
So I would be interested in hearing him talk about why he chose not to do it, because I personally feel like he could still do it. He still has a decent level of athleticism.
Hey,
so
he did some amazing dunks, man.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and do the comic book corner real fast. Then we're gonna do the game and we done. We almost there.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
Mandalorian. We checked that out. Was a great episode. They did a little flashback on what's the little dude name? I always forget his
Grogu?
name. Yeah,
Grogu.
Grogu.
Yeah.
And he showed us a little bit of what happened to him when he escaped the school when all the Jedi kids were killed.
Being killed.
Yeah. So they did show the actor who grabbed him and pulled him out. He was a dude that played Jar Jar in the original movie.
Oh, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, he played Jar Jar.
That's that's probably one of the only Star Wars characters I know.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Star Wars.
Horrible.
I'm being and I tell people like I've never watched Star Wars. I've never watched Harry Potter. I've never watched Lord of the Rings.
Star Wars is the greatest story ever told, man.
It is.
Like for it to start in the 70s and still be going, and now it's a whole universe. Like it's the greatest story ever told.
And not only that, the visuals that always went along with Star Wars and how they always made their CGI was always top.
Well,
always
back in the days, that was all hand done. You know, them boys were just doing straight movie tricks. You know what I mean? Making it happen. So, it was people inside of Jabba the Hutt back in the day. It was a little bitty dude inside of CP3O. You know what I'm saying? Like it was R2D2.
Their visuals were their prop designs. And set
they've
designs
always been ahead of their time on what they're doing. But
definitely.
They gave him he kind of redeemed himself getting this part because Jar Jar was such a horrible character and everybody hated him. So at least he get it a being able to be a Jedi, be himself, and get his face on the movie and have a pretty good part of saving Grogu was pretty dope for him. So I really liked the episode. It was pretty cool to see more the Mandalorians going around fighting the little dragon thing they was fighting, whatever it was. But the show is, I don't know where the hell it's going right now, but it's definitely decent.
I enjoyed The Mandalorian. I haven't started watching this season. I've actually been kind of watching and this is funny you talk about this. So I've been watching the past couple months, since probably January, been trying to watch all the Star Wars saga in timeline order.
Yeah.
So I started with the prequels and I just finished the original ones. And I think now I'm back at The Mandalorian. I did watch the first couple seasons, but I've been trying to watch them in order. And greatest story ever told, man. Greatest story ever told.
I like
great writers.
I'm sorry, I'm more of a Marvel nut. So
I like Marvel too.
Yeah. Man.
I like Marvel too.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm based like superhero. Like
right.
So actually, they're talking about a Val Zod. HBO Max doing like a Val Zod.
Zod? Oh yeah.
No, not Zod, but Val Zod.
Who was that?
That's Black Superman.
Oh, isn't dude supposed to play him from Creed?
Michael B. Jordan?
Yeah.
I mean, he fits it. He's the one who actually.
I think he's the one that's trying to push it.
Yeah,
to try to do
looks
it.
like he looks more like him.
Dude. Yeah. I've never really read up on dude, so I don't know much about him.
I was not a DC guy. I don't know much about.
And he said I'd rather about Marvel and go come out with some DC stuff.
I mean, that's the latest thing that. What have you heard from Marvel lately? Really, like you know what I'm saying? Except for what you're finna talk about, but
yeah, right. Me too. I always grew up. I just like Marvel. I don't know. They did a better job of working in black characters. DC did a horrible job, and they still do a horrible job. So we do have an update on Blade this week. The script, there's rumors with the script being redone and reworked. They said they've taken Black Knight out of it and some of the stuff that had to do with the Eternals to kind of streamline the movie. Is looking like what they're trying to do is make it more about the origin and do more with the origin story of Blade. This movie should be a layup, man. Kill some vampires, throw some blood around. I really don't know how hard it is, but they've been having a lot of hard times with the script. And if you go back and watch the movies with Wesley Snipes, he don't even say that much.
Yeah.
He just kill people, man.
Right. But you know what I think though, man? I think the success of Black Panther, I think what Ryan Coogler did with those movies,
he's amazing, man.
I think it puts a pressure on. I think I think it sends you back. So a funny thing I just heard, I was listening to this interview with Kenya Barris, and he was talking about because he just did that movie You People. And and he was doing an interview and he was talking about Ryan Coogler and how much he's a hero for what he did with Black Panther. Yeah, so something similar happened with Black Panther where this is what Kenya was saying that they wanted Thor to originally be in Black Panther.
Wow.
And he said that Ryan Coogler was like, no, because then it's going to be a movie about Thor.
Right.
Like, I want these people to save themselves.
Yeah,
I want these people. I want it to be about these characters.
Yeah.
And when you said they took
Kit Harington
out of
the
I
movie,
feel like it's kind of that same idea. Is like, no, if it's a Blade movie, it needs to be about Blade, and it needs to be Blade saving the day or doing whatever. It doesn't need to be because this character did it.
I'm also excited for Into the Spider-Verse too.
Yeah,
it should be good.
Yeah.
But I still want Sony to sell the rights. But anyway, that's a different story. Let's go ahead and go play the game real fast so we can get up out of here.
Let's get ready to play trivia for Loot. Sponsored by
Right-hand corner right there, that little square box. No, keep going. Oh my goodness.
Where?
That square white box.
What square white?
Go ahead, do your thing, Mom.
Oh, full screen. You could just say put it in full screen.
All right. So in Trivia for the Loop, there are a total 10 questions.
Okay.
And if you get 7 out of the 10 correct, we have a dish rack.
Okay. Yo, you said you have a what?
Dish rack.
A dish track?
A dish rack.
Oh, a dish rack. I was like,
for your dishes.
That's why
For your dishes.
bad mother.
all right, a dish rack. Got
Take
you.
money. That's one to go home with, I tell you.
All right. First question is, what is the only food that cannot go bad? Is it A, dark chocolate, B, peanut butter, or C, honey?
I'm gonna say dark chocolate. Always bet on black.
Man, I'm gonna say C, honey.
I'm going with honey.
I've seen honey go bad.
I'm going peanut butter. So just
actually, honey does not
go
bad.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna go with honey.
I could have swore I've seen honey go bad before.
Peanut butter goes bad though.
Yes, it
the
does.
oils and
Yeah,
stuff.
it gets all watery.
Yeah.
He said, "Why my peanut butter sweating?"
Unless you get the peanut butter that has the honey in it, where you could just stir it.
Really?
Yeah,
And
there's
stir it
peanut.
back in?
Yep, you could just stir the oil and the honey back into the peanut butter.
I know this.
All right. Question 2. What 90s boy band member bought MySpace in 2011?
I think I know this.
Yeah, that's Justin Timberlake.
Justin.
That was a bad purchase.
Horrible.
Is MySpace still around? Like, is it
It is.
still like
I don't
can
know
you
if
go
you
to
can get to
myspace.com?
I guess you can.
It was a
never
couple
tried.
years ago. There was a teenager. I forget.
But
what
the
her
music
name
and stuff is gone. I know.
Really?
They ain't got the rights to the music.
There was a girl, a teenager. I don't remember her name, but it was a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
She revamped MySpace
Okay.
and gave it a different name, and it's now called Hey Space.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
whatever.
The next question is: this is the heaviest organ in the human body. Is it the brain,
It's the violin.
the heart,
No,
or the
All right.
liver?
I'm gonna go with the liver.
I'm gonna say the brain.
It is the liver.
What? It's so little.
It holds all that alcohol, man.
It holds all of everything.
Yeah.
All
That's
your
crazy.
waste. Next, what type of food holds the record for being the most stolen around the globe?
Chocolate.
What?
Is it
Take us back.
A,
Fine.
Wagyu beef, B, cheese, or C, chocolate?
I'm gonna go cheese.
I'm gonna say chocolate.
I'm gonna go Wagyu.
Can't steal no Wagyu.
It is cheese.
Yeah.
You can't steal no beef. I ain't gonna steal a cow.
Because you can make so many meals out of cheese. You can put cheese on some bread. You can put cheese on some spaghetti. You can
On
do
some
so
French
much
fries.
on some French fries.
Hey, that
On
shit
some
definitely-
pasta.
It's definitely it's like
It's one of the most versatile foods.
It makes
like
it
a potato.
gourmet.
Yep.
Yeah. Instantly.
Every time.
Yeah.
All right. On average,
What?
how many seeds are on the outside of a strawberry?
Sheesh.
Is it A, 100, B, 200, or C, 400?
I never would have thought it was 100. I would have thought I would have said 25.
Yeah. I'll go A, 100.
I'm gonna go B.
Me too, because I don't. It can't be more than that.
It is B, 200.
On this little old strawberry, there's 200 seeds on there.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
That's crazy.
They
got
making
one
them.
right.
They making the most of that space.
Right, for
Like,
real.
man.
Which fast food restaurant has the largest number of retail locations in the world? Is it A,
I know this.
Jack in the Box, B, McDonald's, or C, Subway?
Man, I gotta go McDonald's. Everywhere I go, I see a
I'm
McDonald's.
gonna go Jack in the Box.
I'm gonna hit y'all with the wop. I already know it's Subway.
Is it?
It is
Subway.
Subway.
Yep.
But I've literally, and I'm, you know, and I
It's so much harder to
haven't,
find a Subway than a McDonald's.
Yep.
Like,
right.
Right.
And I've traveled out the country, and I always see a McDonald's. I don't always see a Subway.
They had
I know
this
this one.
deal where you can just build a Subway right next to another Subway.
Yep.
Really?
So, like,
You got
like
two
on
Subways
Cactus
sitting.
and Cave Creek. There's
Yep.
two of them right there.
Wow.
It is,
Like,
yep.
They don't care, and it's like they're on top of each other. And
Really?
it's so
It-
weird.
You got on the southeast corner, and then you got one on the east, on
They're
the
like, we don't
southwest
ca-
corner.
They like, y'all figure that out. We
They
ain't got to
don't
figure
even
that
care,
out.
man. It's weird.
It
But
is.
that's the way they do it, man. And that's why they have the most right now.
All right. The next question is true or false? Dr. Pepper is the oldest soft drink in America.
false.
False.
Coca-Cola.
It's true.
It is false,
What?
but it is not Coca-Cola.
It's
Why you
Pep-
sound so aggressive when you say it?
It's RC Cola.
Nope.
What
Is
is
it?
it?
Wait. Is it Pepsi?
No.
No,
It is
hell no.
not.
I know it's not Pepsi because Pepsi came after
It
Coke.
is Heinz root beer.
Heinz
Heinz root beer is the
I ain't
oldest
never heard of
soft
that.
drink.
What
One
they,
that
they
make
was like,
ketchup?
fuck it, we just don't make
They
ketchup.
came out-
You know what? It actually makes
Heinz
sense
root beer
though,
came out 10 years before Dr. Pepper
Be-
or Coca-Cola.
because I could see like first people started drinking. People were drinking beer. That was the,
Yep.
and so somebody tried to figure out a
Yeah.
non-alcoholic version of beer, and I can see how that could lead to root beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
I can see that.
I already know this.
I think I know this one.
All right. What is the highest grossing video game franchise to date? Is it A, Pokemon, B, Mario, or C, Call of Duty?
I think I know it.
I mean, I would say Mario just because it's a classic and it's still around, but
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty probably because all the in app purchases
Yeah,
and
that's
all.
true.
It's
and all the people who don't go outside no more.
yeah.
I'm gonna say Pokemon though.
I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna go Call of Duty.
It is Pokemon.
Ah, Lord.
Pokemon is the highest grossing video game franchise.
Yeah, man. Because don't you have to pay when you buying that stupid thing when you going around finding the Pokemon
Yeah.
stupid things?
I don't know.
Yeah, you probably have to pay so
Yeah, you
much
pay
just
for it.
inside the game.
Wait,
Right.
I just cheated. It's Call of Duty because this is as of 2023,
Oh,
and it says Call of Duty just grossed 30 million,
Uh,
and Pokemon is 27.1.
you just
billion.
passed them this year.
Yeah, it just passed them. I guess.
So your question's old, man. That's what you're saying.
Gotcha.
That question is from a different. My question that I found was on an article that was from last month.
Oh,
So-
who
So
knows?
was
Oh,
this?
What-
This from January. This is
It
from
could have.
January.
It could have.
So
Yeah,
it sounds
coulda
like that's a
updated.
tie then.
Right.
That's,
It
that's
could
a
have
tie.
updated. That could have
That's
updated. All right. Which Avenger, other
we
than
already
I know this
Captain
one.
America, was able to pick up Thor's
Oh,
Mjolnir?
hold on.
I know this one.
No,
Is
he's
it
not. He's not on. there.
A, Hulk,
He is
Oh.
on there.
B, Vision, or C, Spider-Man?
Was it Vision? Was Vision the?
Was it Vision?
It was because you
I
remember
thought it was Captain America.
It says
No, it says
That's
outside
the-
of Captain
that's
America.
the
I
question.
think it was Vision. I
Because
do.
you remember Captain America, which I think no, it was the Avengers. I think it was the second one,
I don't remember.
and they were getting drunk, and he picked it up.
I think it was Vision.
just handed it
to him. They were all drunk, and they were all trying to pick it up.
Yeah.
And Captain America tried to make it bulge, and he shifted it a little bit, but
I
Vision
remember
picked it
that.
up, and he was like this.
I think it was.
I'm gonna give it to him.
It is Vision. Vision is correct. And our last and final question is true or false? Chickpea is the main ingredient in a falafel.
How are we going to talk about the Avengers then go back to chickpeas?
Falafel. I don't know what that shit is, but I'll say yes. Chickpeas.
It is true.
There we go. I think he won. Didn't he?
How many did I have to get right?
Chicken dinner.
You had to get 7 out of 10.
7.
Okay.
I think you got 7.
I think I did. All right, let me get my dish right.
Yeah, man.
Or my dish track. Which one?
I got you. I got Spotify.
You don't have bars at all.
That's why I said I got Spotify. I never said I was gonna rap. I mean, we might get a copyright now.
All right, man. We appreciate you, Lloyd, for coming by, bro.
Appreciate y'all,
man.
And
teaching us something here.
Yeah.
And letting the people know what you have going on. We hope nothing but great things for you in the future, and hope the $1 Million Project is worth millions here in the future.
I appreciate that.
And we really appreciate you. And thanks everybody for watching today. We'll make sure that we get clips of this out this week. Make sure to visit the website like always. And peace.
Holla, holla.
Peace. Entertainment news. Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.